and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 13 of The Sunday Sauce. I'm Tyler Adelle alongside Andrew Mucaria to talk about all of the things in the hockey world. Andrew, how are you doing today?
Great, dude. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Love the shirt. Send me the link.
I will.
As always, we get help from our shows, from our partners with our shows, starting with the Primetime Rundown. Summer is in the rearview mirror, and that means the Primetime Rundown is back in its usual slot as Joey Jarzinka, Ian Schreier, Mike Zabo return to Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with everything you need to know in the sports world right here on the Eastern Observer. We also can't thank our friends over at the Essential Wrestling Podcast enough. Join the crew and the Essential Wrestling Podcast as they bring you a full recap of the previous week in wrestling. Our guys Al Carl, John Smith, John DeConnie, and Gary Mahaffey break it all down for you on Tuesday, October 11th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Eastern Observer. As always, sponsored by Milk. And, oh my God, what is that?
What do you mean? It's Bowie.
What is it? Is it a gremlin?
The jury is still out on that one.
Looks like someone fed this thing after midnight.
Exactly.
I mean, they tried. They tried.
See, this would have been a good fit for Philadelphia, I think, too.
Yeah.
If you're catching my Always Sunny reference.
What part of the show am I supposed to tell you I've never seen Always Sunny?
Oh, my. We're not going to get into it because I could talk about for 2 hours.
Well, I'd rather you talk about hockey for 2 hours. We got a lot to talk about. We got contracts, injuries, we got the Global Series, and as we said last week, we're going to be predicting all of the individual NHL awards today. And to wrap up the show, baby, we go back to our scheduled predictions. Hockey is 2 days away. Two away for you, 4 for me.
Yes.
Tuesday you got Tampa. Thursday I got Florida. It's going to be a fun week. I can't wait. So Let's get it started with some of the news around the league. Andrew, do you hear that?
What do I hear?
You don't hear what I hear?
Tell me.
Here comes the money.
I hear
Money talk. Here comes the money.
I hear like a contract was signed.
I think this music is fitting.
The Islanders and Matt Barzal agreed to an 8-year, $73.2 million contract extension, kicking in effective next season at a 9.15 AAV. Now, Andrew, I know you didn't really care for this. I love it.
I definitely think it's high. The AAV is really high compared to some other players. But when you said to me that he's probably going to get about the same on the open market, you're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those players where we saw what he's capable of in his first 2 seasons with his point per game Calder Trophy season and his, I believe, 70-ish point second season. He's capable of being that guy for the Islanders. In recent years, depending on who you talk to, if you're talking to me at least, it's no coincidence that his numbers dropped with the arrival of Barry Trotz and the pure defensive system. That's just me. I think in Lane Lambert's system where the kids are going to get a little bit more trust, and obviously the Islanders with an 8-year contract are going to be backing on him heavily to produce.
Yeah.
So some other contract details. The first year, he is completely unprotected. Has no trade clauses, no movement clauses. Years 2 through 8 of the contract, it is a modified no trade clause, which those usually never end well.
Rarely.
They rarely end well. But we'll see. It's hard to predict where a team is going to be in 8 years. We can't even predict the cap in 3.
True.
Some injury news throughout the NHL. Goaltender Cam Talbot out now 5 to 7 weeks with an upper body injury.
Yikes.
Significant enough blow to Minnesota to worry?
He's not in Minnesota anymore, brother.
That's what I said. Shut up.
But yeah, no, it's a blow. I don't know if it's like insanely significant that takes us into the end of November. So it could be worse.
Now, see, this is the part of the show where I told you I was going to quiz you and made sure you picked up on Cam Talbot not being in the Minnesota Wild anymore.
Yeah,
And
sure.
for somebody who didn't do his homework and who's also doing this on about 45 minutes of sleep, Cam Talbot is on the Senators.
Correct.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Andrew, you have access to this document. I don't know why you didn't stop me.
I was working a 9 to 5, brother.
That's fair. Well, when you consider the Senators now, I mean, after the very active offseason they had, very active draft they had, trading for Alex DeBrincat,
Yeah.
probably not the ideal way to start your season.
No, not great.
So, I mean,
Are they going to have a net now?
I didn't even know where this guy was playing. And you expect me to
The only other goalie on their active roster right now is Anton Forsberg.
I believe they did claim Hellberg off waivers.
Did they? Okay.
I believe so. But you're also talking to the guy, again, who had no idea that this man was not on his team anymore. Moving forward, before I embarrass myself any farther, we had the Global Series kick off this past weekend. The San Jose Sharks taking on Ice Baron Berlin, taking them 3-1. Nashville Predators defeating SC Bern 4-3. This weekend in the Czech Republic, we have the San Jose Sharks taking on the Nashville Predators in a back-to-back or a home-and-home, not even on home ice. To wrap up the preseason end of the Global Series, there's going to be some more Global Series action in Finland later in the season. We'll touch on that in the future. All right.
All the hardware.
This is all of the hard. This is most of the hardware.
Most, yes.
This is most of it. I couldn't fit it on here without it looking absolutely ridiculous. But if I could look at this much hardware in one shot, I'd be a pretty happy camper.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that being said, I don't want to say we're devaluing the trophies, but we'll probably start from the ones that most people aren't going to care about.
The ones you don't pay attention
And
to.
kind of work
at the
our
end
way
of the
through.
year. You know.
So we're going to start with the Jack Adams Award. Obviously, everybody knows goes to the Coach of the Year or the proclaimed Coach of the Year. And you and I kind of had the same thought process on this, especially seeing how Montreal did, even though it was minor. They had quite a little bit of a turnaround. A lot of their young course, Cole Caulfield particularly, looked much more comfortable under the leadership of Martin St. Louis. This is probably it.
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to.
You can get.
He knows how to gel with the young guys. I mean, you saw the video. There was a video of him at practice, I think, a day or two ago, of him doing drills with the guys, and he was just all into it. It's going to work out very nicely.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great fit for Montreal. Obviously, they saw enough in him at the second half of last year to keep him around. And look, I'm rooting for him. I liked Marty when he was in Tampa. I hate to admit it. I liked him as a Ranger. He's
a likable guy.
I think he's absolutely the perfect player coach you could find for that team.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. Moving over to the next award, the Bill Masterton Award, awarded to the NHL player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to ice hockey. And you and I, again, went the same route with this one. Probably as close to a no-brainer for this year as you can get.
Yeah, he's got a long while until he's back. He's got a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a hell of a comeback story if it all goes through according to plan. Dare I say?
Yeah.
But this would be my front runner so far.
Not an easy injury to come back from.
No, not even remotely. Now moving to where we're going to start kind of going at each other's throats a little bit. We're going to move on to the Robert Richard Trophy.
Oh, you're just going right in there, aren't you?
What's that?
You're going right in there, aren't you?
I'm going right at it because I think you're an absolute crazy person.
No way, dude. The most underrated goal scorer in hockey.
I 100% agree with you. He's very underrated, always overlooked, doesn't get the credit he deserves. But to tell me he's going to outscore Connor McDavid, Alex Ovechkin, Austin Matthews, Leon Draisaitl, David Pastrnak, it's just not going to happen.
Listen, I'm not here to be boring. I'm not here to make boring picks. I'm going to pick spicy. Kyle Connor is my guy.
You're not here to make boring picks, but you're definitely here to make, let's see, where was that? You got a while before I rip you in half for that one, but you made quite an interesting one.
You love the interesting picks. All I'm saying was, listen, last year he was top 5, and Austin Matthews was astronomical at 60. He was only 8 goals off of McDavid for second. I'm saying it's possible.
I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying he won't.
I'm banking on Matthews not dropping another 60 bomb, basically.
I think everybody was banking on Connor McDavid not literally taking over hockey in about 25 minutes either, but look how that turned out.
Fair enough.
I took probably the safest thing you can bet on next to the Jets losing a football game. I mean, look, you know it, I know it, man's on a mission.
You can't you can't argue it.
It's that, and that was kind of my point with Kyle Connor. It's not a bad choice, but when you take the top 10 goal scorers in the league, he's in like the bottom 7 to 10 of guys who would do it. Ovechkin could really do it without even leaving his bed.
Ain't that the truth?
And especially when you have the motivation of becoming the all-time NHL goals leader, who at 35?
Yes.
35,
something
36,
like that.
had a near, correct me if I'm wrong, near or 50 goal season last year.
Yep, he had 50.
Yeah, and he's not slowing down. And I'll really quickly pull up his numbers because I know we're going to talk about this minorly after the awards because I had a couple of things I wanted to bring up. Let's see. At his career now, he's sitting at 780. So I'm no mathematician. He needed 114 more. So realistically, in Alex Ovechkin time, that is 2 seasons.
Yeah.
That's my only point in this pick.
Yep. Yeah.
Moving to the Jim Gregory Award. This is obviously for those who are new to the hockey world. 1, thank you for joining us. And 2, this is for the General Manager of the Year. I don't necessarily disagree with your pick because I think it's a finalist, no doubt. I like my pick better.
I don't dislike it.
So, kind of similar to the Ottawa Senators, they went out, got the first overall pick, pretty much stole Kirby Dach from not one but 2 teams in the same trade. Stole him from Chicago for nothing and made sure the Islanders didn't get him in the process.
Yeah.
Pulled off a Sean Monahan trade. Now, granted, as we have said, Sean Monahan is a player with significant health issues. Can't stay on the ice, can't stay healthy. But when he is healthy, he is
He's a beast, yeah.
Again, circling back to Sam Malik, keeping him around. He's making great hockey moves right now.
Got a couple of guys doing everything right.
And the smartest hockey move he probably made was not taking Shane Wright.
We'll see.
Just saying. Going to your pick in Pierre Dorion. Again.
Same reasoning, really, just different city.
Now, I was actually talking to Joe obviously off camera today. We were talking this morning, and he thinks that Dorion showed his hand a little too quickly. Now with the DeBrincat extension, going a little bit too fast in free agency, going a little bit too aggressively in the DeBrincat move at the draft. And here's the thing: I don't agree with it. I don't disagree with it. I do think he moved fast, and to make a point to what he was referencing, he's moving much faster than probably we saw Ottawa do this in 2015.
Yeah.
They went full steam ahead, got players, bounced in the first round.
Yep.
Here we are.
I'm banking on that not happening again. I mean, we said from last week the way my standing predictions were. I think Ottawa is a force to be reckoned with this year.
I'm 100% with you. I wouldn't necessarily call them a force. I believe, like we said, they'll be a wild card team.
Yes,
But
yeah.
I believe they're not. They are going to be that wild card team that just is going to roll over and let teams like Tampa and Colorado stomp them out. Like they're not going to be blown out like they were for the last few years. They are going to
No.
play close competitive hockey. They're not going to give away points in their division. They're not going to give away points in the conference. You're going to have to beat them for it. Giroux,
Correct.
not particularly a fan, but definitely a credible leader you'd probably want around a group of young kids right now.
Absolutely. I think they're in that phase now where they're growing, and taking a fat L in the playoffs is only going to make them better.
Now, one of the bigger concerns, obviously, if you're a Senators fan, is Tim Stützle and his demeanor on the ice, I guess you'd call it. Complaining about penalties,
Yeah.
blatantly, embellishing is pretty blatant, but not even trying to make an attempt to hide the calls.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be a problem? It's going to blow up their little situation here, their little plan?
I don't think so. I think that's where kind of Giroux is going to come in, being that veteran presence. He's going to kind of mentor him a bit.
Right. No, look, I agree. I think Giroux is going to come in, especially coming from a notably very hard-nosed, physical, I don't want to call them dirty, but in-your-face team in the Flyers. He's going to teach him how to use that to his advantage.
Exactly.
Moving to the Frank J. Selke Award, awarded to the NHL forward who demonstrates the most skill in the defensive component of the game. Again, I think this is a pick where neither one of us have the wrong answer. I think Barkov is. I'm pretty sure he's already got one.
I think he's won a couple years ago. Yeah, he's a great two-way player. Does everything.
Yeah, he's a great two-way player. His on-ice IQ is probably some of the best we've ever seen. He showed it last year with Jonathan Huberdeau before he was dealt to the Calgary Flames. And, look, my pick was a guy who, if Frank J. Selke didn't beat him to it, the award would be named after him.
Yeah, the man, he's synonymous with this award pretty much.
Yeah, and like I said, there's no doubt in my mind that in 30 years from now, 40 years from now, when, God forbid, Patrice Bergeron passes, you'll see the articles on Bleacher Report. Should they rename the trophy because he won it 30 times in 12 years? And honestly, it's a legitimate argument to have.
It's absolutely a legitimate argument.
I believe he's already got – it's some absurd number, too. I think it's like 5. I'm going to fact check myself because apparently
he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It is 5.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's got 5. He's got a King Clancy. He's got hardware.
Oh yeah. He's shiny.
Moving to the Ted Lindsay Award, awarded to the NHL's most outstanding player, which is basically like the second best MVP.
Yeah, basically.
I don't like your pick.
Hey, man. Haters are going to hate.
Well, all right. I don't hate it because I hate him. I hate it because it's an incredible possibility.
Yeah, I mean, Panarin is, when he's on. He's filthy. He's. I want him to shoot the puck a little more, but his playmaking skills are unmatched.
And look, luckily for you, his playoff performance had absolutely nothing to do with this trophy.
Yeah, he was fine. I refuse to bite. You dangling the bait. I'm not taking it.
Yeah, you'll take it eventually. I had to take the safest route here because if he can't win the Hart Trophy, he's going to win this.
Yeah, if I didn't want to,
Look, you're gonna pick your guy. I understand, but I guess a spoiler alert here: I did not pick McDavid for my Hart Trophy winner. So he's got to win the runner-up, I guess.
Thank you for not being boring.
Well, I mean, I got some boring stuff coming.
The thing is to keep in mind about this too is it's voted by members of the NHLPA, so they got to be well liked.
Yeah, so this is voted on by the actual Players Association. This isn't vote by NHL board.
Yep.
So this is more than just outstanding player on the ice. This is off ice conduct.
This is more than just numbers.
I'm sorry?
It's more than just numbers.
It's essentially like a much more revered version of King Clancy.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think Connor McDavid could kill a butterfly and the butterfly would apologize.
You know what? I think so.
So, I don't think either of us have a wrong pick here. Moving on to the King Clancy Award given to the player. I want everybody to listen to this. Given to the player who best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice and has made a noteworthy humanitarian contribution in his community. Now, this is a King Clancy legitimate candidate. This is garbage.
Is it though?
Yes.
Is it?
Look, okay, I'm going to look directly into the camera for a change.
Please
Joe, I know you're going to watch this back, and you and I could come up with at least a dozen horror stories of our own hanging outside the Nassau Coliseum when that guy took his snow hat and pulled it all the way over his face to his mouth so you couldn't see who he was.
And when was this?
When did the Islanders leave the Coliseum the first time? 2015?
Oh, God, I don't know.
So it was
Probably.
that season.
Listen.
2014-15 season.
Did you know he has his own charity for underprivileged youth?
Does he?
Yes.
That guy's got nice hair. And he's probably really good at Minecraft.
Minecraft?
Probably. I don't know.
He could be.
I just got a lot of personal grudges with this guy.
I love it. I have his jersey.
I know you do. I can't, with a good conscience.
I think you also just hate the number 91.
No, it has nothing to do with that. I feel like we're moving a little too quick.
I've been told that sometimes.
You want to talk about milk?
I would love to talk about some good old vitamin D.
I don't. The William Jennings Award. Now, you had a very interesting take on this one.
Yep.
William Jennings Award is awarded to the goaltender or goaltenders that have accrued the fewest amount of goals scored against for the regular season. Now, for me personally, in my book, it's a no-brainer. You have two starting goalies who are going to play 40 games apiece. They give you a legitimate shot to win every night.
Correct.
Andrew, on the other hand, wanted to go with a little bit of a twist to his.
Let's twist it. It's the Sorokin takeover season.
So when you say Sorokin takeover season, because I want to make sure I write this down now.
Varley's going to get hurt.
What?
I'm anticipating a Varley injury.
Oh, I'm anticipating getting traded, but that's besides the point.
Fair enough.
So I'm not going to spoil anything here that I've written down. But now, if this individual happened to, I don't know, win a Vezina in his takeover, are you going to be surprised?
I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, but my
Oh,
reasoning
you'd
for
definitely
picking
be angry.
Not really. One, he's going to give up the least amount of goals. One, because he's great. Two, because his team gives up not a lot of shots. I'm taking an excellent goaltender on an excellent defensive team.
Unpopular opinion, my guy is better than your guy.
Duh, L.
Prove me wrong. Without
One's got a Vezina.
without using a Vezina, prove me that I'm wrong.
One made the playoffs
So did he.
last year
Doesn't matter. He made a playoff appearance.
as a 1A.
You lost in a bubble to Florida.
It was Carolina.
Was it Carolina?
Yes.
Oh, no, we beat Florida. Yeah, we beat Florida.
It was a bubble. None of it matters.
And he was in, and your guy was in net, mind you.
He played like 10 games before that. It was still half Lundqvist. We're still
I don't
talking
care.
about Henrik Lundqvist here.
I don't care. You're a pro athlete. You should be able to adjust.
Uh-huh. It's a bubble. Doesn't count. Nothing counts. Take away one of Tampa's Stanley Cups.
Right. So if the Rangers won the cup that year, it wasn't counted.
Oh, it would have counted.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Only if they win.
Moving on from this nonsense, the Lady Byng Award awarded to the player adjudged to have exhibited.
I believe in you. Start over.
Awarded to the player adjudged to have exhibited the best type of sportsmanship and gentlemanly conduct combined with a high standard of playing ability.
I'm going to be real. This was the hardest one to pick.
I'm going to be real with you. I agree.
This was so hard. I'm sitting there like, I don't know.
Well, in today's day and age, you would expect plenty of non-gentlemanly players coming into the league, and now I think there's more than they've had in a while.
Yeah, right?
So, being that it was your hardest pick, do explain how this is what you fell upon.
So, here's my thought process. I don't know how I fell on him. He's really good. Seems like a good leader. You never really see him do anything stupid. I like him. I picked him. Because I sat there drooling for 10 minutes because I couldn't pick someone.
I'm going to call you out. Don't worry, I'm getting ready to call you out.
No, boy.
Let's see, where is it? So, I want you to understand something with the Lady Byng, right? It means that you don't do, as you said, dumb things. You're not taking bad penalties. You're not taking, you're a good guy. Now I want you to hear these last 5 numbers, okay?
Sure.
You listening?
I'm listening.
4, 2, 12, 8, 12. And I'll even go back farther, 2 more. 4 and 16. You have any idea what those numbers are?
Not a clue.
Those are the last players to win the Lady Byng in their penalty minutes. Gabriel Landeskog last year nearly had 100 damn penalty minutes.
Listen, I'm just saying I don't live in the past. I live in the future. This is all in the past.
Didn't you just tweet about the 94 Cup like 2 days ago?
No.
I don't believe you.
I don't think I did. Maybe. I don't know.
I'll be honest.
I kind of tweet mindlessly, you know.
You tweet too much. I can't even keep up with it anymore.
Listen, at some point I had to throw a dart with this damn award because I couldn't decide.
Very fair. I sort of threw a dart, and my thought process, in all honesty, when it came down to this award, was it's kind of, again, it's one of those things where when you talk about guys who can play the game overall on a fantastic level, both on the offensive side, defensive side of the puck, how do you not talk about him?
It's a good pick.
It's a great pick.
Everyone loves Alexander Barkov.
Is it a boring pick?
I mean, it's a boring award.
I'm sorry?
I said it's a boring award.
It's a very boring award. It's basically like it's a big trophy, like almost if you won a game of chess in the park. Let's see. Oh, now we're getting to the exciting.
Now we're cooking with fire.
Got the Calder Trophy.
Oh, baby.
Obviously, goes without saying, Rookie of the Year. I had a couple of different thought processes for this award, as you know. I was looking at some guys on my own team, looking at some guys on other teams. Based off of the time we're filming this right now, it's kind of hard to still tell. A lot of teams still haven't put out their final rosters. A lot of teams still have 2 to 3 preseason games left.
Mm-hmm.
I went the safest route I possibly could, considering I think the kid, regardless, is going to be an absolute stud. Matty Beniers. And this is a rookie class where, in reality, I don't think there's a wrong answer if you pick anybody. You could go the Owen Power route. If you really want to get risky and you want to play the Shane Wright card, go for it.
That dude's playing with anger, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you had called it before you called the audible on me on yours, but yeah, he's playing obviously with tremendous. He's not even. I don't think he's playing with chips on his shoulder anymore. I think he's playing with full blown stones on his shoulder.
Yeah.
In Shane Wright, so I can. Look, this could be the Shane Wright.
The only person I never considered once was the first overall pick.
No, I never considered him. No.
I'm not going to attempt to say his name. I'm usually good with names, but.
Am I about to beat you to a name for a change? Yurov Slavkovsky?
Yeah, I would have fumbled that.
Well, I've also said it probably 8 times today. So, yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I didn't not consider him because I didn't want the first overall pick to win. I didn't consider him because I don't even know if he's going to make the team.
Yeah, it really, honestly, the reason I never considered him was really had nothing to do with him either. It's just that everyone else is so good.
Yeah, like he was the first overall pick in this year's draft, but a lot of the first round picks, a lot of the draft picks generally from last year's draft didn't show up till March.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like last year's rookie class kind of sucked.
It was not notable.
I mean, and look, don't get me wrong, teams had their bright spots. Obviously, Detroit and Anaheim ran the rookie show. Troy Terry, Trevor Zegras, Mo Sider, Lucas Raymond. I think another guy that I don't want to say we're overlooking, and I'll get to your pick real quick, which I still cannot wrap my head around because he's just he's got a ticking time bomb in his brain.
After watching the last couple games of the preseason, I wholeheartedly take this back. But I picked this because I am a gambling man, and normally, let's just say, you're betting on a football game, you're betting on the Rams, you think that Cooper Kupp is going to score 2 touchdowns. Related to that, you would think that Matthew Stafford's going to throw for a lot of yards. If Artemi Panarin has a Ted Lindsay winning season and Vitaly Kravtsov plays an entire year on his line, I would be thinking that Kravtsov would benefit from that heavily.
So now I'm going to look at this from the more in-your-face, straightforward approach. You talk about a kid who has had a chip on his shoulder since before he got to you. I should be on the team. I should be here. Trade me if you're not going to put me on the main roster. If he's going to make the main roster this year, this is how you put up or shut up. If he wins this award, I think he's going to shut up a lot of, particularly Ranger fans who are sick of this guy already. He's going to shut them up real fast. And even though he's a Ranger, I love those now keep your mouth shut stories.
I love when players bet on themselves and it pays off.
Why you gotta go there, man? Regular season baseball is over.
That's because a certain gigantic outfielder for the Yankees is about to be in blue and orange next year.
Yeah, he'll just wear the blue and orange uniform that DeGrom's going to leave in his locker. Moving forward.
Okay, did we pick the same team?
You're going to hate me for this one.
No, what did you do?
I know you picked Colorado.
Yeah.
Which is a reasonable pick.
Uh-huh.
Look, obviously coming off a cup, they were an absolute unit last year. Could not be stopped in the playoffs. Really couldn't even be stopped in the regular season. Hear me out.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear it. Justify it. I want to hear it.
You got a young team.
Yeah.
Clayton Keller.
Yep. Love that, man.
Other young kids not named Clayton Keller.
Yep.
Now, you think about this. They're playing in a ball hockey stadium.
Correct.
There's not a lot of pressure there because you can't get a lot of people in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to have 15,000, 18,000, 20,000 people yelling at you all game.
Mm-hmm.
You might have the librarian yelling at you.
Mm-hmm. She can be loud.
Yeah, she can be very loud when she wants to be angry.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of big hope coming out of Arizona this year.
Yeah, dude. They're going to be nasty.
With that being said, if you pick anything except Colorado, you're out of your mind.
Oh, boy.
I mean, look, I shouldn't say that. Edmonton is a very reasonable pick. Tampa is equally as reasonable as Colorado.
Yep.
Outside of that, I mean, you could argue Florida again.
You
It's not an
could.
argument you're going to win, but you
Yeah.
could argue it. You could argue Toronto, although you, me, and everybody else in the NHL fan world is never going to buy it.
No.
Honestly, based off last season, you could even talk me into believing the Rangers could do it.
They're a dark horse, yeah.
I would say if there's a top 5 list, it would be Colorado, Tampa, Edmonton, Toronto, Rangers.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And I think
That's
that,
it, yeah.
not in any particular order, but those are the top 5 you have to pick from.
Yeah, and it's just such a giant gap between Colorado and the rest. Because honestly, I know they lost Nazem Kadri, but I think that it's going to show very quickly they improved a lot goaltending-wise. I think Georgiev's going to have a very good year for Colorado.
Yeah, I really don't think Colorado realizes how much weight he was taking off the defense shoulders with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you really want to make out big on DraftKings,
Was it plus $1 million?
I'll be honest with you, I could look.
Listen, I'll throw $1 on it. $1 to pay off my car.
I threw $5 on the Islanders winning the cup in like 10 years.
Oh, you got it.
$30,000 payout. Moving forward to the James Norris Memorial Trophy, obviously the best defenseman in the league as voted by hockey people.
Yeah.
Now, for this pick, I definitely can't agree with you. He's been an absolute powerhouse in Roman Josi for the last 4 or 5 years. Obviously named the captain only a few seasons ago. He worn the letter very well for the club. This would be Norris number 2 on a very teeter-tottery Nashville team.
Yep.
Where they could make the playoffs just as easily as they could miss it.
You could say that again.
And probably one of the only bright spots on that team next to UC Saros is sitting on this monitor at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I could just see, and I'm sure I might get flack for it, but other people might agree that the top 3 defensemen in the NHL, Fox, Makar, and Josi. I don't consider Hedman top 3.
More.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to be a merry-go-round of them in the Norris for a couple of years.
Well, I mean, look, they don't like to hand out awards back-to-back to people unless they absolutely need to.
Yeah.
I don't see Cale Makar getting it again unless he has another 90-point season.
Yeah, which was unreal.
And I'll be honest with you, he can absolutely do it again. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins 5 Norrises in a row. But again, obviously you're a Ranger fan. You watch at least 75 games a year live.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think it's safe to agree that Adam Fox is the second best front runner if you look at it at an odds perspective.
Yeah.
And he's not that far behind Cale Makar. Look, Cale Makar's got him beat in the scoring department. That's the only thing.
Yep. Just the hockey IQ and the vision department. This guy is king.
Yeah, and Adam Fox, and I hope this is no disrespect intended, but he's never going to score 30 goals this season.
No, that's not what he does.
Yeah, if he scored 30 goals in the season, play the lottery.
He could end up with 100 assists. All he does is feed Zibanejad, feed Kreider, feed everyone on the power play. That's what he does.
Yeah, he absolutely could.
I didn't want to put too many Rangers on my picks. I don't want to be too biased.
Well, you don't want to pick too many Rangers on your picks.
Well, come on.
I
Yeah.
agreed with you.
Come on.
Look, I just think that the time of Vasilevsky in the Vezina candidacy on a yearly basis is over. And again, you can call me out of my bias. You can call me crazy. I don't really care what you want me to say. The next 5 or 6 years, I think this trophy is going to be pinballing between Queens and Manhattan.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
You know, I think if you told me today I had to pick the finalists for this year, I would tell you Shesterkin, Sorokin, and probably
I got a name in my head. Let's see if you say it.
I'm trying not to say Vasilevsky.
It's not that one.
If I had to pick right now,
It's a bit of a dark horse.
oh, then I know who it is. Shesterkin, Sorokin, Saros.
Mine, Jake Ottinger.
Not yet.
That's why he's a dark horse. He will be there.
I think he's got one more year until that's a legitimate conversation. But I absolutely agree with you that he will be in the conversation. And Jake Ottinger is, again, another goalie. I think he will get it at least once in his career. Granted,
Yeah.
he has a long, healthy career. But this is just, how do you dispute that?
No, this year. I mean, we can tell the new wave of tendies is here.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's always a wave where it's every team's basically playing backups for a couple years. You're starting to finally see a lot of these goalies come into their own, break into the league. Shesterkin, Sorokin, we're stuck with Vasilevsky for at least another decade.
Yeah.
You know, Frederick Anderson's having a comeback. Jake Ottinger's in the league. UC Saros. Georgiev is finally going to get a spot as a starter. Josh Gibson is holding down the fort as best as he realistically possibly can in Anaheim.
Because he's holding up a brick
again,
house.
Well, Jack Campbell last year, again, is another one who came out of nowhere, and you just got to see what he does this year in Edmonton.
Yeah, it's true.
Now we move to the big, bad dum-dum.
They got to change what that trophy looks like. I'm just going to say it. That's all I'm
What's
going to
that?
say. They got to change what that trophy looks like, and that's all I'm going to say.
You're disgusting. All
It's
right.
like an onion.
This is the big one. This is the one. This is for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
Best of the best for the season. I took Nate McKinnon.
I love that pick.
I didn't want to take McDavid. I didn't want to take Matthews because you yelled at me for being boring.
Yeah, dude. No one has fun with that. Have fun with it.
I think this is absolutely a conversation we can have in 8 months and be, we got that one right.
Yep.
I'm not as sold on yours. Now, credit, I do know, I am aware that this player is no longer on the Panthers.
Yeah.
There's no pictures of him available in the Flames uniform yet. So I'm working with what I got. Bear with me.
Yeah.
But it's ironic that the picture is with him in Florida because I don't know if he can produce like that again.
I think he will. I think he might actually go farther.
You think he can break 115 points?
He might. He's in a division that is weaker. I think he'll capitalize on it. Write it down. I didn't say definitely break 115. I said he might.
Look, I'm again similar to what we were talking about earlier with Barkov Landeskog.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely could do it. Do I see it? There's just way too much talent in front of him that's going to keep him from doing it. Because you got.
Yeah, and I also didn't want to pick Igor again. To be fair,
Well, you got to think about it. He had a 115-point season and still finished like 5th.
Which is nuts. That blows my mind.
Which is insane. Yeah, which is insanity in itself. But again, when you're competing with Matthews, Draisaitl, and McDavid, and you're still competing with Ovechkin on a day-to-day basis, even Crosby he had almost a 100-point season last year.
Yeah.
It's just look, I think it's fair to say that the NHL wants to push their faces.
Of course.
That is not a face of their league.
My big thing with him right now, though, it was the argument I was making for Igor over Matthews McDavid for the Hart last year, is that in the terms of the award most valuable player to his team in Calgary, he's going to be the most valuable player to his team because without him, Calgary would not make the playoffs.
Oh, I 100% agree. If they have a team award for best, it's for the team MVP, it's right there, no doubt.
Yeah.
Hart Trophy is a little bit harder to sell me on.
I think the lead. My thing is, let's just say it comes down to again, McDavid, Matthews, and let's say Huberdeau. And it's the exact same thing I said when it was Igor. The Leafs without Matthews still make the playoffs. The Oilers without McDavid probably still make the playoffs. The Flames without Huberdeau do not make the playoffs.
I can get on board with that.
And then like I said, that was my argument with Igor. Why I think he should have won.
No, I can get on board. That's pretty much going to wrap up the awards.
It's a lot of awards.
There's just so many awards that we've either already basically predicted. We've already predicted division winners. I mean, you want to talk deep into it. We can talk about who's going to be coming out of the East and the West to go to the Cup. But I'd prefer to save that for the playoff prediction. But if you're asking me now, it's either going to be Colorado and Edmonton or Tampa and the Rangers coming out of their respective conferences.
Yeah, if Toronto could win a playoff series, they might play the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final, but I don't foresee that changing.
And Toronto is look. They're so defensively deprived that they're trying to have one of their top forwards fill the role.
Dude, that's so rough.
You're also talking about a Toronto team where the GM, the head coach, all the associate coaches,
yeah,
their chair has to be at least 4,000 degrees right now. That's how hot their seat is.
Yeah.
If they don't do anything this year, and I'm not talking about just getting out of the first round, they need to go to the East Finals. They need to go to the Cup final.
Yeah.
They're gone.
It's all or nothing, without a doubt.
Looking at some of our friends through the Eastern Observer, Joe shot his input over.
Hey.
There's a lot of I don't necessarily disagree with a lot of his picks. Colorado Avalanche for the President's Trophy, Connor McDavid for the Hart Trophy. Victor Hedman for the Norris is usually a safer pick. Jacob Markstrom for the Vezina is definitely
outside looking in, but not bad.
Definitely something worth watching for sure.
Yeah.
Going for the Calder, same way I went with Matty Beniers. Lady Bing for Ryan O'Reilly, which, again, he's already a Lady Bing recipient in his career. Could do it again. The Art Ross for Jonathan Huberdeau is a lot more believable.
Yeah, no, I see it.
The Bill Masterton Trophy to Nick Backstrom. Not really having the strongest season last year as far as injury goes. He stepped away from the ice. He has a nice comeback season with 25 goals, handful of points, leads the Capitals pretty deep into the playoffs. I think that trophy's a lot for him.
Yeah.
Ted Lindsay going to Nathan McKinnon. Again, he pretty much, me and Joe don't talk about this stuff too much off camera, but it's pretty much whatever one doesn't win, the other's going to win between McKinnon and McDavid.
Yeah.
Putting his Jack Adams trust in Ray Woodcroft, that was definitely a...
Love it.
I respect it.
I love it. Make it interesting.
William Jennings to Ilya Sorokin, Semyon Varlamov. King Clancy going Drew Doughty's way. I didn't even think about him.
I never think about him.
It's probably
I forget he's in the league.
Well, it's probably because he also missed the last 5 months of the season.
Yeah.
But Rocket Richard, Austin Matthews, if you play the safe route, that's a great way to go.
Yeah.
And the Jim Gregory for Brad Treliving.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to argue it. I mean, look, he had another one who took his team from dead in the water to right back in the playoffs, probably even farther in a week.
Very, very, very true.
So The fact that he was able to lose a star and bring in a star with a solid veteran defenseman next to him and shed cap in the Sean Monahan deal. Again, probably another general manager we overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, he took a team that was about to implode and kept it a playoff team.
Our friend Al Carl over the Essential Wrestling podcast chimed in with his vote. It seems like everybody's on the Connor McDavid Hart Trophy chain. And the Norris Trophy to Victor Hedman. The Vezina to Sergei Bobrovsky was interesting. Al Carl told me that Mo Sider is going to be the first ever two-time Calder Trophy winner. I told him to turn off NHL 23. And even in the video game, it's not possible.
I'm so confused.
Oh, I was, believe me, my head was spinning like a top when I got that text.
Wait, okay, keep going, because I just saw one that almost killed me.
Yeah, I know which one it is. And then he texted me his serious answer in his Calder Trophy winner being Owen Power.
Okay.
Not as particularly sold on that one with this rookie class, because this year is a stacked rookie class.
Yep.
That I think Owen Power is just a little too late to that party. Lady Bing to Nathan McKinnon, Art Ross to Connor McDavid, Bill Masterton to the hot dog man himself, Phil Kessel. Which I'm going to be honest with you, if he beats the Iron Man streak and has a good season, I can absolutely see that.
Yeah.
Ted Lindsay to Connor McDavid, Jack Adams to Rod Brindamore, the Selke to Patrice Bergeron, or the Patrice Bergeron Award. The King Clancy to Anders Lee. Now, I didn't even think about that one, and I think that's another one that doesn't really get looked at.
Yeah, I'm going to be... okay, so just real talk. I hate Anders Lee. I find there's something about him, and I know he's a good guy, but like there's just something, not even he's an Islander, he bores me. I can't explain it. I don't know. There's just something about him that just pisses me off.
Would it be the size of his head?
It might be. Between him and Brock Nelson, for some reason, and it just happens that they're Islanders. I think it's the size of his head, and when I look at Brock Nelson, all I see is Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Andrew, the show is on the TVs and the UBS.
That was a great TV show. Ed, Edd n Eddy was great. I'm a Ranger fan. I don't care.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. But look, on a serious note, from the off-ice contributions, Anders Lee is somebody that I completely overlook.
Yeah, I know he does. He has. Does he have the Anders kids or something? He does
the Jam Cancer, the Can Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's another one that definitely got overlooked by me, but I think always gets overlooked by others.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Rocket Richard Trophy to Chris Kreider, which I audibly giggled. No offense, but there's no.
He's not
that twice.
No.
The Jim Gregory to Ron Francis. Everybody seems to have this thing for Seattle this year that they're the second coming.
Sure.
And okay, so I told Al I would put the Brock Nelson Conn Smythe pick here purposely because I also promised him that if Brock Nelson wins a Conn Smythe ever, not even just here, ever, I will streak through the Barclays Center.
That's a safe bet to take, honestly.
That's a very safe bet to take because now I just guarantee that I'm not going to prison and I don't have to streak.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So when we have eventually, we'll have Al and Joe join us at some point in time to discuss their picks later in the season. Maybe
get underway.
Maybe bring them on for the All-Star break.
I don't want to think about that yet, man. We still didn't start yet.
Yeah, I want to get to Tuesday, honestly. Even though I know,
Yeah.
Even though I know it's the Rangers playing, I need something.
It's meaningful hockey.
Yeah, I mean, look, I already got to wait till Friday for baseball. 24-hour layover is going to drive me insane in itself.
Yeah, I know.
How's it feel playing a wild card?
I want nothing more right now than to play the Braves in the NLCS and absolutely destroy Atlanta's hopes and dreams.
I mean, look, I don't want to go too deep into this because this is a hockey show, but you can't even be mad at the Mets.
No, they didn't do anything wrong. They just lost. They even tied in the standings. They just lost the tiebreaker.
You know, you got to think about it also. Like if you really dig through the nitty gritty, right? The Braves were under 500 for the entire month of April and most of the entire month of May.
Yeah,
They legitimately had to play above historical baseball to come
they
take that
did.
division. You guys had the same record through September, with the exception of 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, I think they
didn't
won
choke.
71 games since like July 1st.
You didn't choke out that division. Atlanta took it from you.
Yeah, no, a team that won 100 games didn't choke.
Yeah. So from the time we're filming, we have about 6 days till hockey.
Yes,
By the
sir.
time this will air, we're probably going to miss an unbelievable amount of news that we're going to have to wait a week and a half to cover,
You can blame my fiance for that one.
and we'll have 2 days till hockey starts.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
with that being said, we're keeping score this year.
Yeah, we are.
We have our week-by-week schedule predictions. We'll start with the Rangers.
Let's do
You
it.
start the season with 3 games, and the league is immediately kicking you in the throat.
Just a little bit.
Tuesday, October 11th, you'll have your home opener with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Be off Wednesday. You come back Thursday in Minnesota, and Friday in Winnipeg. That is a hell of a way to start a season.
It's something. You know what it sounds like to me, though? It sounds like 3 W's.
3 dubs.
3 dubs. The only game that's even slightly in question is the game against Tampa, but I will be in attendance, and the Rangers were 9-2 when I was in attendance last year. And one of those games was the last game of the year in which they did not play any of their starters.
Are you committing to this 3-0?
3-0.
I am coming back after you with this for next week.
All right, dude.
Now, as far as the Islanders are concerned, we have Thursday with Florida. We have Saturday with Anaheim, both home games in the UBS Arena. And if you don't think I'm slapping 2 dubs on that myself,
Yeah.
I mean, look, Islanders tend to usually play Florida very well.
Yeah.
Anaheim, for some reason, always historically starts their seasons fairly slow.
Yeah.
Capitalize on it. That's just the way I would go after it.
Yeah, I definitely don't see any issue with you guys versus Anaheim. It's just that I don't know what to expect from Florida yet. So that's what's giving me such issues with picking. But I can get on board with 2-0 for you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Florida is
Florida,
such an X factor for me.
what's that?
Florida, I don't know what I'm going to get from them.
And honestly, even after October, we're still going to sit here and be like, no.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, 60% of it falls on Bobrovsky.
Yeah, it's very true.
So, I mean, because he hasn't been the definition of a stable goaltender in the last few years. So,
So if their offense isn't clicking right away, they're not going to score on you guys, and you guys are only going to need to score twice on him, maybe 3 times.
I'm debating still going to the home opener.
Well, go. Why not?
I have jury duty.
Delete this footage. They won't know.
Well, no, it's not even that because jury duty ends at 5 o'clock. I'm free to go after 5.
Oh.
Yeah, be there at 8:30.
Isn't the courthouse west? You're fine. Get in there.
Well, when you put it that way.
You're closer.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have to go home. I just put my jersey in the car and be on my very merry way.
Now, UBS Arena tickets, what, like $60?
Actually, I have no idea. Is this the part of the show where we're going to pull up StubHub and say not sponsored by StubHub, but please sponsor us?
Is it?
Guess what? It certainly
Oh
is.
boy. Oh, you looking up Rangers tickets? Look at you,
No.
dude.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Where are we? They're going to make me type it in. Come on, don't do that. I don't want to type.
Oh, no one likes typing.
Let's see. What have we got? October 13th. Don't look.
Dude, I respect it. Look, I was right.
I'm not sitting in the garage.
Not that. No, look, $60.
302, row 8.
That's before the $300 in fees that StubHub is going to charge you.
See, you know, it's crazy. You know, StubHub, they brought back, oh no, maybe, oh, there we go. That's how much it is with the fees. They brought it back.
Yeah.
See, for a while they had the I don't know, maybe for this arena they don't have it, but yeah, they brought back the seat viewer.
Thank God, dude. I mean, I stopped using StubHub.
Oh, StubHub.
I haven't. Yeah, I usually buy from Ticketmaster resale or Game Time.
Yeah, I mean, because I was actually looking at the division series for Tuesday, and they like the seat viewer thing. Where is it? I gotta click the actual section now. Oh, can you not do it on the computer anymore? Because I was able to do it on my phone.
I don't know.
750.
That's why one of the reasons Game Time is better, not sponsored by Game Time. But hey,
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. Let's check it out.
you know you can go to the Islanders preseason game tomorrow for $1.
You're a liar.
I'm not. Go to Game Time right now. It's Game Time. Yeah, there you go. Type in Islanders.
Monday? You busy Monday?
No, I'm not. So that's a possibility right there. $28. Oh, boy, this is getting out of hand.
Game Time. We're gonna need to have a conversation. Up here. Oh, it's in the worst spot possible.
Oh yeah, it's garbage.
Fun fact: the first year of the SummerSlam Brooklyn,
Yeah.
the Bailey Sasha Banks takeover, the Kevin Owens Finn Balor ladder match.
Yeah.
I was at the takeover.
Oh yeah.
And I was at Raw. Both shows I sat right here in 112. Right?
Wow.
Let me tell you, to this day, the two craziest shows I've ever been to in my life.
I went to Raw at Barclays Center. I want to say I sat in 18. It was insane. I bought them like last minute and they were cheap.
All right, how about this? I'm gonna do this right now, and you tell me when I get to your the best seat you've ever had in this building for wrestling.
For wrestling?
Yeah.
It's gonna be that section 18, row like 10. Yeah.
Oh, I got you beat. Oh, I got you real beat.
You have 4 seats? Oh my God! Get out of here.
I could have open-handed smacked Jerry Lawler in the back of the head if I wanted to.
That's awesome.
I shouldn't have done that. That's assault. I don't promote assault.
No, we don't do that.
All right, show me this preseason thing. Back on the topic of hockey. We are a hockey show, not a
Just
wrestling
search
show.
Islanders, brother. The preseason game's not going to come up on the front
there we
page.
go. Now they make me tight. Oh my God, you want to Where is it? 304.
There's a whole bunch of them.
304, row 9. What's this? How much is this one? $4. See, remember when StubHub was this good?
You remember when the Islanders played in Nassau Coliseum and every game was this way?
I want to hear it from you, all right?
The Nassau Community College discount.
Dude, I will never forget this. Hold on, let me see. Oh, it's even cheaper here. $47.
That's going to be before fees, though. Click all in pricing.
Oh. Ooh.
Listen, I paid $275. I don't want to hear it.
Flash deal? Flash Gordon?
Oh, savior of the universe.
That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
But now, I mean, granted, my seat's usually right here in this tunnel.
Yeah, well, you're working.
Yeah. But I'm in jury duty, so I normally don't work weekday games to begin with.
Fair.
But, man, am I going to do some juvenile stuff? Oh, God. You know what that is.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you remember Draft Ops?
No.
You don't remember Draft Ops?
No, I don't know what that is.
They were they were like the new fantasy sports thing.
No, I never got into that.
Oh, they were terrible. They were terrible.
That adds up.
What are you doing Friday?
Watching the Met game.
Ew. Never mind.
Yeah. I might be there, though.
Oh, you're actually going to go?
I might, because I get out of work late on Fridays, but the game doesn't start till 8:10.
How much is...
I might just buy tickets for Sunday and just see what happens.
Why don't you buy World Series tickets, see what happens?
Because I also have to pay for Rangers tickets. I don't have $1,000 just to throw out there for baseball.
Fair. I mean, look, if I was... like I say this the nicest way possible. If I was going to go to a baseball game, I have to wait till Tuesday.
Yeah.
Look, don't get me wrong. I've told you before. I go to Met games all the time. But
Yankee Stadium is so inconvenient.
it's absurd. You know what else
It
is
sucks.
absurd? You know what else is absurd?
Oh, my God.
Can I borrow your debit card?
Yeah, they don't get declined, brother.
At least you're honest about it. Wait a minute. Why does this website think they automatically assume I'm bringing friends with me? I want one.
Yeah, come on.
I don't have friends.
What are those?
Actually, speaking of going back to the topic of Islanders or hockey in general for a moment,
Okay.
did you see all the teams started announcing their promo schedules?
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you right now, that scarf alone is an incentive for me to get there on opening night.
Go ahead, dude. $68.
Coming with me?
No.
You're a bad friend.
It's Thursday Night Football, dude. I can't. Let's give it for a Ranger game, but I got to watch Thursday Night Football.
Are the Patriots playing?
No.
You have no excuse.
I gamble.
Fair.
Heavily.
Camo hat, special edition yearbook. Oh, the bobblehead series is back. Esports night.
Oh, God.
Teamwork online, Pride Night, Legend Night, Girl
Scouts night. Cookies? Oh, no. You get a Girl Scout patch.
If you don't think that they're going to be selling Girl Scout cookies all over that building,
True.
what's the date on that? Friday, February 24th. Don't make plans. You're not allowed to tell me no to Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Where are the drugs?
I don't know if I want them. I don't know if I want Girl Scout cookies that much. I got to tell you, working in an arena has pampered me so poorly to the fact of I can't bring myself to pay for hockey tickets anymore.
It'd be how it be, and you're a cheap team. Just remember that.
I know we're the Mets of hockey.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, I was reading an article today, the race to 1,500 points for Crosby Ovechkin.
Oh, yeah?
Crosby is at 1,409.
Mm-hmm.
Ovechkin is at 1,410.
Oh, wow.
Will one of them, both of them, or neither of them hit 1,500 this season?
This season?
Keep in mind, they're both coming off near 100-point years.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say but they both do.
Okay. I kind of hoped you picked that answer. Who first?
Oh, God. I'm going to say Crosby.
I have to say Crosby, too.
He's a little more well-rounded.
Well, because Crosby he'll have a 30-goal season, but he'll also have 60 assists.
Yeah.
So
11 assists per night.
Yeah. So I agree with that. Phil Kessel, obviously, he'll break the Iron Man streak.
Yeah.
You got anything?
I think we covered everything, dude.
We've covered everything.
Even wrestling.
Yeah, even wrestling and baseball. Prime time, don't be mad at us, please. So, with that being said, from our friends at the Primetime Rundown, from our friends at the Essential Wrestling Podcast, from our not friends at Milk,
Vitamin D.
and whatever the hell this thing is, my name is Tyler Adelle. I'm alongside Andrew Mucaria. We cannot thank you enough for spending your Sunday with us. We'll see you again in a week.
Yes, we will.
Enjoy your night. Bye-bye now.